from a career standpoint, what things can people do to get to a better place? And let me just tee this up and say, I remember when I started my career, 2 weeks in, my grandmother passed, and we were very close. But I seemed to channel her energy, and like I said, I could hear her talking to me, and I gained a lot of focus from that. To take my career seriously and to listen and to study and to network and things like that. Do people typically do that? And if they do, or if they don't, what could people do in a state of grief or after grief to channel themselves into a better career path, something that's perhaps meaningful that they put off when mom or dad or sister or brother or friend was sick? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's a field in psychology called post-traumatic growth, and it studies how a fair number of people who experience trauma or a loss manage to turn that into a springboard for personal growth. And for many of those people, it is through developing a new sense of meaning and purpose and then putting that into action. And one might say that, me writing books about grief is a form of post-traumatic growth after my mother died. I mean, it didn't feel to me like I was making that as a deliberate choice, like I'm going to, find meaning and purpose and grow from my mother's death. I thought these women need a book, and no one else is writing it, so I guess I might as well. But, in retrospect, I think that probably is an example of post-traumatic growth. But there are all kinds of ways that you can attach meaning and purpose to a death of a loved one, and use that to establish some form of greater good in the world, whether it's within your nuclear family or your neighborhood, or on the world writ large, like starting a foundation, or sometimes, I know people who are all over the map with this. They may run a race and raise money for a cause, often the cause that took their loved one's life, or they commit to becoming a better parent or a better sibling, or they will travel to the places that their loved one always wanted to go to, and have those adventures by proxy, and allowed in a way. So there are the examples are as individual as the number of grievers that there are. And so when I work with clients, because I'm a grief and loss coach, if I have a client who wants to, who says, I can't allow my loved one's death to have no meaning. I feel like I need to do something to prove that their time here mattered, and that they still matter. And then we look at their individual story, the relationship they had with their loved one, what their loved one valued and did. And then we'll design some kind of pathway for them that feels meaningful to them. Because again, I think it's a very individual process, and it's more meaningful when it's individual like that, and when it is related to that particular person and the type of relationship you shared.